I've been waiting all day for this.
Mickey Mouse is the most famous cartoon character in the world. No, one of the most famous things in the world. You take a big circle and add two smaller ones on top of it, and you've got a symbol virtually everyone will recognize. What's so great about recognizability? About being famous? Well, it means he's everywhere. Food packaging, television commercials, statues on mini golf courses, Mickey Mouse has it all. So he's the brute enforcer of a soulless company? No, I'd like to argue there's something more. An idea, character, work of art doesn't persist for 90 years solely because everyone recognizes it. There has to be a soul to it, something deeper that draws us to it. With almost a full century of existence under his belt, Mickey has had a lot of writers and artists taking a crack at what draws us to him. And that's what I intend to look at. Depending on the decade, Mickey is a careless rogue, an atoning brother, a nightclub owner, a magic and sword-swinging king. The mouse has it all. For this retrospective, I will be looking at Mickey's character throughout his major appearances, starting in 1928. I'll be focusing on animated shorts, TV shows and specials, park appearances, and video games. I will not look at the comics, as there's simply too many. Disney comics really deserve their own retrospective. While Mickey has seen great evolution and change over the years, we must never forget that it all started with a plane. Plane Crazy was Mickey's first short ever produced, but fourth released. To put it simply, when Walt Disney found out that he would lose the rights to his current cartoon creation, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, he and animation legend Ub Iwerks began working on a new project in secret. Originally named Mortimer, later changed to Mickey at the suggestion of Walt's wife Lillian, Iwerks and Disney would create a new character and his first cartoon in the same studio that they were making the Oswald shorts, behind a big blackout curtain no one was allowed access to. Plane Crazy was shown to audiences for the first time in May 1928 and was an immediate failure, with no distributor offering to pick up the mouse for a series of shorts. There were a variety of reasons for this, most notably that critics saw him as too similar to Oswald. But I think some of the negative reactions came from how, even for the time, this short was unusually mean-spirited. Putting it lightly, this Mickey is a rapscallion. At worst, a violent rat who cares little for the safety of others. Plane Crazy sees Mickey, inspired by Charles Lindbergh, trying to build a plane, getting into hilarious slapstick shenanigans as everything goes wrong. I say hilarious, but towards the end of the short, it's just mean-spirited and gross. There's the usual animal-based slapstick present throughout the short that may seem unusually cruel to a modern audience. To make the tail of the plane, Mickey straight up rips off a turkey's tail. Mean? Sure. How Mickey treats Minnie is just altogether wrong. Mickey tries to get her to kiss him, and when she refuses, he forces the plane into a nosedive. He quickly regains control, trying to make himself look like a hero, but the terrified Minnie slaps him and stomps out the plane nonetheless. This shows a callous disregard for her safety and adds to this version of Mickey just being unpleasant. Mickey is much more mischievous and cunning in these early shorts, but in his debut, he's more a gross miscreant. And let's look at his character design. This version of Mickey is a drastic departure from the pink face commonly known on food packages. His hair is wild, he has two large circles denoting where his eyes are, no gloves or shoes, and a thick tail. This Mickey plays up his physical mouse traits heavily, something that would decrease over time. Compare Plain Crazy to Gallopin Gaucho, Mickey's second completed short. It was shelved in order to shift focus onto Steamboat Willie, but was made beforehand, so I'm including it between the two. Mickey's second outing sees him take on a more heroic role. Here, he's much more than the annoying scrapper from Plain Crazy. He's engaging in sword fights, a career staple, going on high-speed horse chases, and saving Minnie from the villainous Pete. In spite of this, he is still a miscreant, with a wanted poster identifying him as a gaucho, or criminal. He's actually seen smoking a cigar and drinking a huge mug of beer at the start of the short. Finally, he rides into town on a rhea, a type of South American ostrich, rather than horse, showing that this Mickey is a swashbuckler, not Prince Charming. With this in mind, Mickey and Minnie have a much healthier relationship this time around. Aside from the previously mentioned saving, the pair flirt early on and engage in a sexually charged dance. As the short ends, the two kiss as they ride into the sunset on Mickey's rhea. What stayed the same between this short and Plain Crazy is that Mickey is an active force. Mickey doesn't let things happen to him. When Pete takes Minnie or his plane crashes, Mickey is quick on his feet, thinking of a new solution. Cunning and perseverance are his two most prevalent traits, for better or worse. Design-wise, Mickey is sporting some accessories, a hat and scarf, alongside shoes. His tail is still thick and prominent, even used to grab his mug of beer at the start of the short. Most notably, his eye lines are gone, with his face being closer to the classic Mickey so recognizable today. Then comes the big hit. Gallopin Gaucho was set aside so Disney and Iwerks could focus on Steamboat Willie. They gambled on this being a success. If starring in the first ever synchronized sound cartoon didn't launch Mickey into stardom, nothing would. And sure enough, it did. But beyond this being a technological marvel, this short would see some heavy revisions to Mickey's character. In Plain Crazy and Gallopin Gaucho, Mickey is an active force. Two-timer as swashbuckler, Mickey's on the offensive. Steamboat Willie, however, sees this aspect dialed down a bit. He's still cunning, but he's also subservient to Pete, his ship's captain. On that note, these three shorts help emphasize a frequent aspect present throughout all of Mickey's career. He's treated as an actor, playing various roles, from farm boy to cowboy to busboy. His roles change, but a consistent character is put in place. After a while, anyways. We're still in the growing pains. With that in mind, Mickey's still got a bit of a mean streak. He mocks his captain behind his back and throws a pail of water at a bird laughing at him. He is ultimately subservient to his captain, though. He stops driving the boat when Pete intimidates him and sticks to peeling potatoes at the end as his punishment for slacking on work. Mickey is weaker, certainly, but he's less abrasive as well. He's on better terms with Minnie. He helps her catch the boat in a creative and hilarious way, and later plays music with her. While happy here, Mickey and Minnie's early, surprisingly tumultuous relationship would continue on a rocky path in later shorts. Steamboat Willie also includes Mickey's first stab at being a conductor of music, which is very important for his character overall. While here he's just morbidly abusing farm animals, his conducting prowess would later transform into a leading role, conducting whole swaths of his yet-to-be-established supporting cast. Steamboat Willie dragged Mickey into the public eye. Now, he wasn't just the poor man's Oswald, he was a bona fide star. And with it, Mickey developed new layers of emotional complexity and a messy history, as he went from bad boy to sad boy in 1929.